Alrighty, so today I want to talk about something in relation to a video we did the other day, and that was the video talking about first anniversary STR Gogeta and sort of the way that he had a huge, profound effect on the game where it was a literally have them or re-roll type of situation. Right now, some of you did point out in the comment section below, and I did illustrate this in the video where it was like there wasn't enough content or units in the game for it to really be worth to hold on to an account. So maybe it wasn't that Gogeta was that good, it was that Gogeta was the only unit worth having in the game, and to that I would say I agree. But today, what I want to talk about is a celebration so fun, so hype, right, that it literally broke Global Dokkan. And when I say broke Global Dokkan, I mean that the hype was so immense, people were logging into the game at such a high rate, summoning so much for these characters, that it literally broke the servers, the game was not working, and if anybody played during the second anniversary, I promise they will vouch for this, especially on Global, it literally broke the servers, right? It was such a fun time, and with that being said, let's go ahead and introduce the main suspects for today's video, and then we're going to look at that campaign and talk about how underrated it was in terms of the grand scheme of things, right? When you ask people what was the best anniversary of all time, the default answer is going to be the 9th anniversary, right? And then there's some other people that will tell you it was the 7th anniversary. There'll be some people that'll tell you it was the 5th anniversary just because of Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue. The content in that celebration was kind of bad, right? But you guys get the idea, right? So who are we talking about today? You can kind of see it up on the tab list here, but we are talking about the 2nd anniversary characters. Now, the first thing I want to do is dive into the kits of these characters and what made them so good, right? These characters, Goku and Vegeta, if you don't know, it was Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. These were the first iterations of these two characters in the game, and if you guys, I'm sure most of you know at this point, but Super Saiyan 4, they are some big dogs, right? These are characters, or this is a form that people do not play about. This is one of the big guns, right? Especially Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Vegeta, you can kind of like, you know, I love Vegeta, but like if we want to just talk about like hype level, it's like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if he was S, I think Vegeta would be A, right? And that's just how it works. Shout out to my Vegeta fans though, but you guys kind of get what I'm saying. So Super Saiyan 4 Goku, what was he? He was an STR or an STR type leader. So these were, I want to say, the introduction of the 120% leaders. I could be wrong on them being the introduction to it, but I know for a fact that these were some of the best characters in terms of the monotyping meta, right? Because you guys can see with the leader skills here, we actually have like real percentage leader skills now, right? We looked at how Gogeta was literally just ki and attack, right? But now we are really kind of shuffling into the 120% lead meta where we had like characters that ended up easying in like 2020, 2021, and these guys were kind of at the forefront of it being like the biggest, most hyped characters of that period, obviously being an anniversary unit. That will tend to do it for you, right? The anniversary units are always just going to be the cream of the crop when it comes to this game. So thankfully, in terms of kit, we don't have too much to talk about, right? That's why breaking down these old anniversary units are kind of fun, because there's just not that much to talk about. This character had Super STR. This was definitely wanted to be like the core of the team, the way that you wanted to run it, the way you wanted to build it. You wanted to get as much Super STR in as possible. And then for Extreme STR, if you needed to, you could potentially throw them on the team as well. And the super attack effect that this character had, you know, you don't really see this anymore, at least one bit of this, right? Immense damage was obviously really good, and then defense plus 30%, which is obviously, like, that's just average these days, but it's for 6 turns. So that's essentially like a stack, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to keep going up, but that defensive raise for 6 turns is really good, because you're going to have that defensive raise the next time you see them, the turn after that, so like the next time that you see them. So for at least 3 appearances, you are going to be having this character with that defensive raise, which is obviously going to be very helpful. Now, with the passive, attack plus 150% combined with this 120% up here led for a pretty deadly combination. And especially when you were running 2 of these characters, you had ki plus 6. So, and like this kind of helped go into the era where super attacks were starting to become more common. And it wasn't as hard to get them because it wasn't just these ki plus 3 leads and then attack, right? It was, we had extra ki, we had from doubling up on them on the leader skill. It was really like we were getting to the point where we could actually do super attacks, and that was something that's a big deal, right? We take that for granted now, where we complained about like LR is only going to be able to get to like 15 ki, 16 ki, and nowadays it's like if you can't even get to 24 ki easily, you probably suck. So really, like, this kind of helped us usher in that era. And now with this character as well, we also had a medium chance of evading the enemy super attack and countering with tremendous power. So if you guys don't know, a medium chance now is a 30% chance. If it's a high chance, I believe that means it's 50, and then if it's a great chance, that is going to be 70%. So that is what this character is going to be doing. I'm not going to talk too much about Vegeta in terms of like the kit breakdown because it's very similar. He's just AGL, right? But the link set, the categories that this character was on, we can cross off most of these categories, right? Especially when the game was in its like infancy stage in year 2. I can assure you that I don't know if any of these it might have just literally, I think the only team that could have possibly been in the game at that point was pure Saiyans, because Goku's family was introduced with the 4th anniversary, right? Kamehameha was introduced with LR Gohan from the 2019 Worldwide Download Celebration, right? I'm not going to break down each one of these, but you guys kind of get the idea, right? They literally would have only been on this team at the time, so keep that in mind. But the link set, very nice for GT characters and stuff like that. So if we quickly look at Vegeta, this character, the only difference here between these two is Vegeta just gets extra defense in the passive, which is going to be very nice because he does not get the extra defense for 6 turns on the super attack. He's just going to be lowering the enemy's defense. But again, the same case here. It would be Shadow Dragon Saga, he would later be on that team. That was like not too old of one. This one, I believe, came out during the to be released era. So keep that in mind. That maybe we'll talk about that at some point. But you know, 2 of these characters right here, both very, very good, best in the game type characters, very good stuff. But you guys can see here, this is how they look. This is what we were working with. So the fact that these were Super Saiyan 4 characters led to the sort of boom in terms of hype, in terms of people getting into the game. This was a big deal, right? Like I said, Super Saiyan 4 is something that gets people going. So what I have here is the 2nd anniversary campaign, and I just want to look at it and kind of go over some of the stuff that we can talk about with it. Now, we have this right here. Hopefully when I do this, it doesn't just pull up an image. Of course it does. Can I click on this? No, I cannot. What if I just do this? No. Okay, so the way that this worked is we were able to vote for a free-to-play LR, and I believe this ended up being Vegito Blue. So the Vegito Blue grind, that comes from this. We had some ticket or some select stuff. We're not really worried about that. Stones, summons, stuff like this, right? The Dual Dokkan Festival. This is actually what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at these banners and see just how good they were at the time, right? Like, because you guys know at this point that anniversary banners are like the way to go. And what made these so good? So right off the bat, this Goku, phenomenal, right? We had first year STR Gogeta, so the original king of the game, right? Vegito, who then dethroned him as the king of the game. Goku Black, when this was like peak Dragon Ball Super era, right? 2016, 2017. Goku Black was definitely like a big dog. Rose hadn't come out yet, so, you know, he's not going to be in this discussion, but this banner, very nice. And then there would probably be some, you know, other counterparts that were a little bit more AGL focused on the Vegeta side of things. So these 2 banners in specific literally did, like I said, they did so much. Like the banners, the hype was so high. People were so excited to summon on these banners that it literally, like, the game wouldn't work. Like, you would try and do a summon, you would just get hit with connection error. So Rose was in the game, excuse me, and Vegito Blue. So do keep that in mind, right? These characters were in the game. They had this thing going, and it was just a lot, right? Like, when people were trying to load up into the game and stuff like that, these guys were part of like a download celebration, excuse me. But with that, right, people were trying to get in and trying to summon, and it would just be connection error, like waiting, loading. Think about like Legends on anniversary night, right? Or Legends Fest, like day 1, like you try and go into the game and do the summons and the game just runs slow. Or really like any other gacha game that you might play, when you try and load the game up on the anniversary night, it's usually not going to be a fun time in terms of like the hype is there, everyone's excited to play, but in terms of like actually playing the game, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, right? Another thing that they did was they added this LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, you know, the popsicle stick meme. If you guys haven't seen that old super attack animation, it's very funny. It literally just looks like they took the JPEG of a frame from that animation and just whoop, 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 whoop in Photoshop or whatever thing they use to make super attack animations. Very funny, right? But there we have it. Not going to get into every bit of this campaign, right? They ran a world tournament during the anniversary on the global side of things. Shout out to them. They love doing that. They did that during the 8th anniversary on JP, and it was very disgusting. So I think they did it during the 9th anniversary too, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't play it, but I know that it happened. So there we have it, right? 2 of the characters that actually broke Dokkan, right? This wasn't going to be like a conclusive list of every character that's broken the servers, but this one sticks out to me in terms of like what celebrations like broke the game and made it very hard to get in and summon and try and get these characters, and these were the first two that came to mind. So let me know down below what you guys think. I've been having fun doing like these anniversary revisits and trying to preserve the history of this game. Not that I'm the only channel that's doing this by any means, but it's just kind of fun to talk about and learn some things myself because I was not playing the game at this time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if you want me to dive into any other characters or celebrations in the future, and I consider them for future videos. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.